Farmer Mike here, and welcome back to New Beginnings, episode 14. Today we have a fairly busy day. I have a lot to do as far as getting the field prepared and ready for planting potatoes. So the first thing I got to do right now is get the John Deere hooked up to the rock picker, get the rocks off the field, and then I believe I will be putting the lime on the field and then cultivating it. Get the lime to go down into the soil and whatnot. And then after that, I will be planting potatoes. So let's get the John Deere fired up. Get some rocks picked out of the field. And there is a lot of rocks. And the way that they're all laying around in the field, I can't stay in a straight line. I have to kind of zigzag, but we will get it done. My wife was talking to one of her coworkers at Tractor Supply, and she was telling her coworker, our situation of getting into farming and construction and everything, and about how we were getting into construction sooner than we had planned because of how long it's going to be before we generate income with farming and whatnot. So her coworker had basically suggested or gave her the idea that if we have enough land or a lot of field with grass that to get into haying. I guess it's a pretty big thing around here, and it would be a way to make some quick money. So 'cause she had heard my wife's talk about the amount of land that we acquired and whatnot. So she said, well, if you get if you have enough fields with grass that can be cut, then that might be a good way to generate some money while we're waiting for the potatoes to grow and to be harvested, as well as waiting for some construction jobs to get lined up. So that got me thinking when she told me all that we have plenty of field with a lot of grass. We get several fields with a lot of grass. So kind of thinking about possibly maybe renting some equipment for haying. I may not exactly purchase the equipment at this time. I got a lot of other stuff I need to buy, so I may look into renting some equipment to start doing some hay for some extra income. We may down the road buy some stuff to do haying, because we were planning on at some point getting some farm animals, cattle, pigs, sheep, chickens, you name it. We're going all in with the farming, but we're just taking it step by step, a little bit at a time. So at some point we will need to get more into the haying industry, but I don't want to buy the equipment to do it right yet. So I may have to look into renting some of the equipment to get us going on it. So until then, we're going to keep our eyes open for some equipment to rent. Gotta do some digging around and seeing where I can acquire something to do haying and be able to rent it. So this is going to take me a little bit of time, so I'm going to get this finished up, and then I will be right back with you. Well, we are done with the stone picking. That took a long time, and there was a lot more stones in that field than I was thinking there would be. So what we're going to do is unload them right here. This is the second time I've had to empty the stone picker. I've already dumped some over here. I'll have to come back at some point with the backhoe and scoop them up, load them into the dump truck, and haul them out of here. Get this thing folded rather. So now we are going to hook up to the fertilizer spreader and load it up with some lime. Get that field all nice and covered in lime. So I've only got, I only bought 4 bags, so hopefully that will be enough to do the field. But we will see. All 4 bags are all loaded up. Like I said, I'm going to spread the lime and then cultivate and then seed in that order. So like I said earlier, I was kind of surprised on how many rocks there was in the field, but at the same time I'm not surprised because it looks like I missed some rocks right there. Oh well. I'm not surprised at the same time, because if this field has never been used for farming before, which I'm not sure if it has, but if it hasn't, it would make sense that plowing it up for the first time, I'll be, you know, digging up a lot of rock. So I'm hoping each year that I plow it up, there won't be as many. I mean, I know there's going to be rocks each year, but hopefully not to that extent. But we will see. Just part of the, it's just part of farming. So once again, this could take a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and continue getting this done, and I will return once I am close to being done. Well, we are almost done with the lime, and it took way more lime than I anticipated. So I was nowhere near having enough lime. Those 4 bags was definitely not enough lime. So I made several trips out town, getting more lime. I don't even know the exact number or how much more I needed to buy. I can't remember, but it was quite a lot more. But it's all done now. And while I was down to the store getting more lime, I was talking to the guy, one of the employees down there, about what I was doing and everything, and told him how I was doing it. And once he found out I was a new to farmer, he decided to give me some strong suggestions, highly recommended that I should, lime and then cultivate, that I should put down some solid fertilizer or liquid fertilizer, whichever I can get a hold of. And I don't have any access to liquid fertilizer, so I'd have to buy some solid fertilizer. But he said I would only need to lime like every maybe 2 or 3 harvests, but that I should definitely fertilize before I plant the seed, and then a little bit later down the road, before harvest, between planting and harvest, somewhere in the middle, put some more fertilizer down. He said that would be the best way to do it, so I was very thankful he gave me some of that good advice or whatnot. So right now it's getting late in the day. It's taking me forever to get that rock picked and limed. I'm gonna go home, spend some time with the wife, get cleaned up and get some dinner into me. First thing in the morning, I need to get this cultivated and fertilized and ready to seed. So I will see you guys first thing in the morning. Well, good morning. I am just getting some gas for the pickup and grabbed some gas station coffee while I was in there. And as you can see on the back of my pickup, I have purchased a pallet of solid fertilizer. But I have already made several trips to town and back to the field, getting other more solid fertilizer. So this is hopefully my last trip. It's taken quite a few trips to back and forth from town to the field to get the amount of fertilizer I need to fill up the fertilizer spreader. So had I been thinking, I should have taken my flatbed, my tractor trailer truck with my flatbed, and loaded up the amount of pallets of fertilizer that I needed and saved myself several trips to town. But I wasn't thinking. And I don't have a forklift or anything with forks to unload these pallets, so what I do is I have to back up to the fertilizer spreader and load the fertilizer spreader right from the back of my pickup. So another thing to add to the list of things to get is something with forks, forklift, or something to make my life a little bit easier with loading and unloading pallets. So like I said the other day, I want to get the field cultivated today. I want to get the fertilizer put on, and then after that start planting the potato seeds. And then I should, well, there's a log there. And then after that I should only have to fertilize at least one more time before harvest. And in the meantime, I'm hoping to get some construction jobs lined up and maybe start doing a little bit of haying, because I have plenty of field with grass that can be cut and whatnot and sold as hay for some extra money. So let's get this last pallet loaded. As you can see, the old John Deere and the fertilizer spreader is covered in dirt and lime and everything else. There. Well, that hopefully is enough to get the field fertilized. But I'm going to cultivate first, then fertilize, and then plant the seed. I can tell already this will take, between doing this, fertilizing, and planting the seed, I am looking at a very long day, probably into the night, to get this done. I want to get it done today so that the potatoes can start growing, and as well as so that I can get on to other projects. I also need to continue working on our house and start getting some stuff planned out for a garage and a shop and whatnot. And I'm unearthing more rocks. The rocks are endless. So, I'm going to just keep on cultivating here and see how much I can get done. And then on to the fertilizer. Alright, so I am almost done fertilizing. I got the cultivating done, and I went around with the rock picker and got a few spots that had some rocks from me cultivating, so maybe I should plow, cultivate, and then do the rock picking, because apparently when I cultivate, it's going to dig up some more rocks and whatnot. So I went around and collected more rocks with a rock picker after I get done cultivating, and then hooked up to the fertilizer spreader, and then here we are, almost done fertilizing. So as you can see in the distance, the field around this field, this field that we're planting, going to be planting potatoes in. So all that field in the distance is the field that I may use for haying. And I got some other fields that I could use, but I may start with that field over there. But I'm not 100% sure yet. After we get done this, I'm going to hook up to the seeder. I've already, after I get done cultivating, I ran down and got some potato seed, brought that up, so I could start getting the seed, start planting the seed. So I've definitely learned that farming is a lot of work, especially by yourself. So at some point in the not so far away future, I'm gonna have to start thinking about getting some extra help, hire some people, or at least start off hiring one person. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this finished up real quick and hook up to the seeder and start seeding. And we are planting. And it is going to take me the rest of the day to do it. My planter width isn't very wide, so going to be, as you can see, a very lengthy job. But we are planting, and that is good, because the sooner I get this planted, the sooner hopefully I'll be able to harvest it. It's been a very, very long day already, and once I get this field done, and I'm going to call it a day. Well, we are all done planting, and as I thought, it took all day to get everything done, and as you can see, it's getting dark out, But I'm all done. I got done what I wanted to get done, and I'm happy about that. And I am just getting done cleaning up most of the equipment. Not all of the equipment, but most of it. That is all I'm going to do today. I got the planer washed, and the tractor, and the fertilizer spreader. But it's getting dark, and I'm gonna go home, clean up, relax, and probably think about what my next endeavor will be. The only thing I got left to do between now and harvest is do another application of fertilizer. So I'm hoping to get some equipment rented for haying and some construction jobs lined up. But one thing at a time. It's getting kind of dark, as I said earlier, so you probably can't really see the field that I've worked so hard on, but it's definitely planted. And it took some time. But that will do it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, as you always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all on the next one.